From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
And right now in the Afternoon Edition, it's the first in the nation primary. The polls are open in New Hampshire, and voters are lining up casting their ballots for the GOP nominee. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto. It's now a two-person race between former President Donald Trump and Miss former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. And today will be a make-it-or-break-it day for the campaign, and they both know it, with both candidates making their final push to voters. Trump is hoping a win in New Hampshire will end the race after only 2 states have voted, but Haley says she expects a good night will propel her on to South Carolina and beyond. Penny Commit has the latest from Manchester.
Good. Happy Election Day. It's great.
Nikki Haley campaigning outside of a polling location in Hampton, looking for last-minute support.
Who are you voting for today?
Nikki Haley.
Can you explain why you wanted to vote for her?
Time for a change.
The former South Carolina governor has already won the first votes in New Hampshire when all 6 registered voters in the tiny town of Dixville Notch voted for her at midnight.
Nikki's a fighter and she's not giving up, and I just really hope that the rest of New Hampshire follows us and chooses Nikki.
And Haley will have to be a fighter if she wants to make up ground. Heading into today, former President Donald Trump still has a double-digit lead in New Hampshire.
We just got some in the fantastic polls, but assume you're one down, please, okay? And get out of bed and just get to vote. Grab your neighbor, grab everybody. You gotta go out because we have to win by big margins.
Trump has already won the endorsement of most Republican leaders.
It's a big tent party. I mean, we have space for everybody. The question is, who do we want to be our next president? That answer is also very simple. Donald J. Trump.
And his momentum will only grow if he gets a big win here in New Hampshire. But Haley says she will fight on no matter what happens in the Granite State.
I'm running against Donald Trump, and I'm not going to talk about an obituary just because y'all think we have to talk about it. I'm going to talk about running the tape and saving this country.
New Hampshire Secretary of State projects a record turnout at the polls today.
And today marks 1 year since the tragic shootings at 2 Half Moon Bay mushroom farms. 7 farm workers were killed. The suspected gunman, Chun-Li Zhao, faced a judge today in San Mateo County inside the courtroom. Our cameras were not allowed to film inside. Zhao faces 7 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder. Today, the judge granted the defense's request to move the arraignment to next month. Zhao remains in custody on a no-bail status. And tonight, community groups will honor the victims during a memorial in Half Moon Bay. They will also hold a roundtable discussion to talk about the issues that farm workers do face, especially affordable housing. Last year's shooting revealed those tough conditions for families who work in our communities. And turning to our first alert weather right now, live look across our Bay Area bridges. We have a break in the rain, but well, don't get used to it. More wet weather is on the way, and it could impact tomorrow morning's commute. Let's get right out to meteorologist Jessica Birch.
What a beautiful day here in the Bay Area with upper 50s and lower 60s widespread, anywhere from Livermore down into the Santa Clara Valley. Half Moon Bay today sitting at 57 degrees. It's a great day to get out there, reset after 4 days of rain here in the Bay Area. It was a very impressive storm system that moved its way throughout the weekend and yesterday alone too. But heading into the forecast today, it's dry, it's partly cloudy. It's a beautiful day to get out there and get some much needed fresh air. Now, we do have a dry break today, but that's going to end as we head into the forecast tomorrow. Let's talk about the reason why. Heading into our early morning hours tomorrow, we have a new area of low pressure building its way in. So these partly cloudy skies we have today, they're going to turn into dense clouds into the overnight hours. Windier conditions are going to start sweeping in those early morning commute hours as rain systems anywhere from Santa Rosa stretching over into Vacaville starts just around 6 a.m. Now this starts to get a lot heavier into the afternoon hours. This is now by 9 o'clock. Many of us trying to get to work, get to school, and we're going to be battling some really active weather, heavy storms and heavy wind. That's what we're expecting tomorrow morning. Here we go into that lunchtime hour. Now it's starting to isolate down into the Santa Clara Valley, off into the East Bay, and stretching its way all the way up throughout the Sacramento Valley too. It starts to clear up around Santa Rosa just around 2, 3 o'clock, and then we're left with unsettled weather into the evening hours. We clear up for Thursday, heading into Friday.
In San Francisco, community leaders held a rally demanding to keep a grocery store in the city's Fillmore district open. This comes following the announcement that the Safeway store will stay open until next year. For many, it's the only grocery store in the community. It was slated to close in March, but the city and developers struck a deal with Safeway to keep the store open through 2025. Neighbors and city leaders are now asking to be involved on a community plan for that site.
We've been here. We're not going nowhere. And we see, I'm part of the generations that's been here. We want to make sure that the children see the future.
Supervisor Dean Preston says he will introduce a Neighborhood Grocery Protection Act at tonight's Board of Supervisors meeting. After months of tense negotiations, the strike at Cal State campuses is now over. The union representing tens of thousands of faculty members reached a tentative agreement with the university system last night, and teachers went back to the classroom this morning. Students at Cal State East Bay tell us they are happy to be back on campus.
I'm very supportive of the professors because I think that all teachers and all professors here in the state of California do deserve a higher wage for what they do.
That's good because I know that the teachers work really hard, so I think they deserve that, and that hopefully they'll be more motivated this year too.
The agreement still needs to be ratified, but it includes a retroactive salary bump, an increase to the salary floor, more parental leave, and more protections for faculty. And applying for college can be exciting, but also a bit overwhelming. And the new changes to the process not making it any easier. Lauren Tom spoke to students about how they are navigating these new hurdles.
The halls of James Lick High School in San Jose are filled with excitement for seniors who are anxiously awaiting to hear back about their college applications. But this year's application process was different for these teens after the repeal of affirmative action and modifications to obtaining financial aid.
Just like making sure that I wasn't looked at as just another Hispanic person. Definitely coming from a low-income community with the limited resources, I really wanted to stand out and let them know that I am a hardworking student.
For Ada Mari, her eyes are set on a private school out of state where affirmative action was repealed last year.
I'm applying to Santa Clara, Stanford, Chapman. I'm also applying to Duke.
Once she enrolls, she'll be the first in her family to attend a four-year university.
It's upsetting just because there's that advantage of them trying to make us seem fair, as if we're in the same category, but in reality is we struggle with the limited resources that we have. So when we do our best to join extracurricular activities or sports, it's like we are not only doing that, but we're also putting a lot of hard work into our schoolwork.
Being a first-gen college student is the case for many students at James Lick, but following the repeal of affirmative action, they say their goal was to make themselves stand out through their lived experiences.
They want to look for diversity, yet diversity shouldn't just come from how they look, but like how they've lived their life.
It's uncharted territory, says college admissions expert Irina Smith.
It's been a messy, extremely unhelpful late rollout, and together with the SAT going digital and making huge changes and the repeal of affirmative action, college applications have never been a low-key, unstressful process for most students, but this year it seems to be like literally everything that could go wrong is going wrong and or just becoming more stressful.
Students of color from low-income families are now facing a double whammy of sorts. It's an extra hurdle to show colleges how they've persevered through adversity. And while the new FAFSA makes it easier to apply, financial aid is expected to come later than usual.
As 17-year-olds, they're essentially having to navigate political shifts in terms of what the Supreme Court decided, what colleges decided they would do with that. And I think to put 17-year-olds in that place is frankly not very nice.
For Ada Mari, she's already been accepted to 3 of the 13 schools she applied to, proving to herself that the extra effort is setting her apart from the rest.
And the updated FAFSA was launched December 30th, 3 months late, and that it not only has the potential issues, but the Department of Education failed to adjust for the sharp rise in inflation in the new form. That could lead to millions of students getting less aid than they deserve.